Hi, welcome to this mini series where we're speaking to women at SYSTRA. I'm Abby Lindsay, a senior consultant here in the D&I team and also the gender pillar lead. And that's why we've got this podcast series set up to speak to some wonderful women. I'm joined today by Lou Garrick, who is a geologist here at SYSTRA. So welcome, Lou.
Thank you very much, Abby.
And so tell us about your role. What does it mean to be a geologist here at SYSTRA?
Well, I'm a geologist. That's my job title at the moment, but I'm doing more project management type work. I'm working on one of the biggest projects in the country. I'm supporting my team that I work in, which is the tunnelling and ground engineering team. We call ourselves TAGE for short. And I'm basically helping to deliver all the geotechnical elements, working with the design coordinators and the project management team.
So that's great to hear about that you started as a geologist and then you've moved into project management, and as well as what you do within your day job, you're very involved here at SYSTRA in a range of things. As I mentioned, I'm the gender pillar lead, but yourself, you're the disability pillar lead. So just tell us a little bit more about how you got involved in that and what you do as part of that role.
I volunteered about 2 years ago now. So there was an opening. We needed a disability pillar lead, and I put myself forward. People at the time didn't realise or didn't know, because I'd not really spoken about it, that I've got 2 disabilities. I've got fibromyalgia and dyspraxia. So I put myself forward because I just wondered what we could do to help myself and to also help other people maybe like me at SYSTRA who have disabilities. I didn't at that point really talk about my disabilities. People didn't know, they weren't aware. It's not because I was ashamed of them, I just didn't know what help I could get, and I didn't know how to approach it. But then I realised that there's support out there, so I thought, why not put myself forward and maybe help others at the same time. So since then, I've become the employee resource group lead for the disability pillar. I'm part of the employee resource group for parents and carers of neurodivergent children. Both of those, they've been massive, helping me with my everyday life. There's over 15 people that I'm working with as part of the disability employee resource group, and I'm able to meet people all over SYSTRA, all over the UK and Ireland. So I've met someone based in Dublin, there's someone else based in Edinburgh, people down in London. It's great. I end up going to different offices, and I know loads of people, and I'm able to help people at the same time. And people have found a safe space within that employee resource group community. So I'm really proud of what we're able to build. I'm not doing it on my own. I've had help. It's taken a lot of effort. So I think it's amazing that SYSTRA are able to support and make people feel safe by creating that space, which I'm involved in.
Yeah, definitely. And I think there's a vast amount that can be done, but it is really good that community space is there for a range of different things, including gender, including neurodivergent and also disabilities. And I think, as you said, like, you benefit from that because you've got to meet so many people in the company that when you're doing your project work, you know who to reach out to because you've met so many people within the company. And it's great that there are so many opportunities to do this within your kind of day job or within these kind of extra things that people like yourself do. And people thank you for that, and it's a great opportunity that people have been given, having you and having other people create these groups. So just kind of on that, whether that's being a woman in this industry or also, as you touched upon, with kind of the disabilities and neurodivergent, what do you think can be done more, or what else would you like to see come forward in the future?
We've been allowed a collaboration day, so SYSTRA are supporting us with that. So the employee resource group have a disability collaboration day coming up. We're all coming together, and we're going to be looking at our objectives for 2025 and beyond. So that we're looking at knowledge, access, and also psychological safety. So we're going to be coming up with some strategies, loads of ideas, and I just think it's amazing that we can collaborate and come together, and I think that really will make a difference for people. There's a number of women that are disabled as part of that community as well. So just like I said before, having the safe space, and I think that's what it's all about, feeling safe at work, feeling like you can be your fully authentic self, and that makes a big difference, coming to work and being able to be you without feeling like you've got something to be ashamed of. It's really empowering. So I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah, and it's really great to hear that you've found that within SYSTRA and that
Yeah.
other people can seek this out and find this. It's
Yeah.
really inspiring. And I think touching back on your career, what would you say has been the most standout or biggest achievement that you've had to date?
I think my confidence, it's not really a point in time. I just think I've grown massively as a person, as I feel like I'm getting to know me. And I'm in my 40s now. I started when I was 30, so I started in the industry later on in life. I didn't come through well, what I think is a normal route, sort of an apprenticeship or a graduate program. I came in a little bit later and older and as a woman. So there's been a few challenges, but I think as I'm learning more, I'm getting to know different people, and building up different sources of information. So I'm, as a geologist, working in project management, working as a safety rep, I'm able to I've been able to learn a lot along the way. So for me, one of my biggest career highlights is just being able to be part of those different communities. So I wouldn't say there's one point in time. It's just overall progression for me, learning about myself and learning what I'm good at. And Sister have allowed me that opportunity because um, I started as a geologist, but now I'm going into project management and potentially safety because I really like safety. And I'm doing a safety course as well as a project management course soon.
Well,
So I feel really, really supported.
yeah, I really love that because I think I got asked the question quite recently actually is when did you know that this was the career pathway for you? And I thought, well, I didn't really, to be honest. I did a geography degree and I kind of
Same as me.
went into consultancy and then found myself in transport. And it wasn't until I had that confidence and I thought, yeah, I know what I'm talking about and I can give my advice. And I think being a woman in this industry, there is a lot of stuff in transport that I can bring to the table and say, look, whether that's safety as a woman, walking back late from a train station at night, or you need these sort of things, that voice needs to be there. And I think I've had those opportunities you were touching upon. So it is really, I really like that you said that your kind of biggest achievement stand up moment is that kind of growth within yourself because I feel a similar.
I love that, Abby, as well. Yeah, yeah. And I've also got a geography degree. So
Yeah, a lot of transport people end up in the word geography.
so I'm obviously, my job title is engineer geologist, but my background is physical geography, which is more like earth science. So I've also come in late as a woman, as a disabled woman, and with a physical geography degree, not a typical geology degree, which most people have. So I've had to learn on the job and pick things up. And it's I would say it's taken quite a lot of effort, a lot of a lot of long hours, a lot of learning, a lot of reading. But I really enjoy what I do, and I love learning and I love asking questions.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really important. I mean, how have you found it kind of being in this industry as a woman? Do you feel that potentially you've had to overcome more barriers than perhaps other people? Or as you said, you ask a lot of questions. So do you think it is just keep asking those questions, keep pushing, and you will get to
Yeah,
where
I
you are?
think you need to have a questioning attitude, not an attitude obviously, but question things in a good way. By that I mean go do a bit of research, come back with a few answers, and then go ask someone a question, because I think you'll be more respected for that, and you've gone out your way to find some answers rather than just relying on someone to tell you what the answer is. And I think you learn that way as well. Um, I think some of the other challenges I've faced, I've been on site with many men, and they just assume because I'm a woman I might not know much. And I remember one time I was in an induction, and we had to do some activities on a whiteboard, and I was handed a pen. I was the only woman in the room out of 50 men. We were split into about 4 groups, and I was the person handed the pen to do the writing. And I just think they just assumed, oh, Lou can just write. She's a woman. But I was actually answering more questions than most of the people in my team, and they were really shocked. But I actually earned their respect that day, and they were like, wow, you know a lot. How long have you been doing this? And then I started talking more. So you can't just assume that because you're a woman that you don't know much.
Yeah.
There's women out there that know more than they even let on that they know, because sometimes you're just quiet about it. You don't need to be vocal about what you know or what you don't know.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that is something that personally I'd like to see in the future. It's those kind of underlying issues, as you said, people assume this because you're a woman, or people assume this because, and I think it's actually the more women speak up and the more women who kind of say, no, I am the engineer here, or I am the consultant here, the next generation coming through hopefully won't have that, because it will get to a point where those kind of little conversations that at the time that person might not have meant what they said, but they did,
Yeah.
that hopefully that won't happen. And I think one thing that SYSTRA have done recently is they've signed a pledge so that everyone can have accessible PPE, which might seem like, oh, surely everyone's got access to PPE, but actually there's a statistic, don't quote me on the exact, but it is something that a very small percent, whether it's 3 or 5% of PPE fits women, because, historically we've been just seen as small men,
Yeah.
but we're not. Our bodies are all different to men, so it is having stuff like that and having that assurance, SYSTRA will make sure that your PPE is safe
Yeah.
and fitting you.
And you feel comfortable. You can do
yeah.
your job more confidently when your clothes fit. It's like coming to work and you're having to adjust your clothes. You don't feel confident. You
Yeah.
don't look as confident. Whereas if you come to work, you're comfortable in what you're wearing. You're not having to shuffle around and adjust. And yeah, it does. It's massive for confidence.
It is those little
There's
things.
little things. And I work with a lady in my team. She's very tiny. She's petite. She struggled to get PPE, so I worked with Dave Atkinson in health and safety, and then we requested some smaller size petite PPE, and we've got what we need for.
Yeah.
And she's really grateful. So
Great, I'm glad
it makes a difference.
being put into action.
Yeah, and having some small boots, because she's a size 3, and it's challenging to get size 3 boots.
So that's a great example of, that it's been put into action, that PPE, she's been able to get that smaller size. So obviously that shows that things are moving forward, things are being done. Do you think things are changing within the engineering space for women, and kind of how is that starting to shape?
I'd say it's definitely changed over the past, how many years I've been in the industry now? Since 2013. I can't do maths today. My brain's gone. For a few years anyway, quite a few. Things have changed. I've seen more and more women coming into the industry. I remember back when I started, I was the only woman on a site of 500 men.
Wow.
To start with. I was the women in the office, but I was the only actual woman on site at one point. There was another lady in the lab with me at that time. I think there's more women on site, and I really enjoy it when there's another lady on site. It's like I get a bit excited. Oh, there's another lady, another woman. Yeah, I just think we have a different outlook and a different way of looking at things, so we just need to embrace that. I think if we can do more, we need to do more, and I think we should definitely do more. And I know SYSTRA works with STEM, so that's one massive thing, and I think that's where for me, in my opinion, that's where it should all start from. It should start in schools, because my careers advisor would never have told me that I could do this as a career, as a woman, and where I'm from and the community I'm from. I think people need to be made aware of the opportunities that are available to them, and starting with young children. I think that's I think for me that's the key. And we have the next generation leadership team within SYSTRA, and listening to their voices, I think that they can make such a difference. They've got a different approach, different outlook, different way of thinking about things. And if we're getting young women coming through SYSTRA now, we need to ask them what made them want to come into engineering, because maybe it might have changed in the past 10 or 20 years. The reasons might have all changed. And I know sometimes people think engineering is a lot of site-based work, but it's not. We need to change the outlook on that. There's a lot of, not office jobs, but a lot of technical jobs that we can do, like the project management work I'm doing. I started on site. People just assume you're in construction, so it means that you're just going to be on site wearing orange PPE all day, but that's not the case. And a lot of girls maybe don't like getting their hair wet or not wearing makeup on site, but it doesn't matter. I don't care what I look like when I'm on site. I'm on site to do a job. What I look like doesn't matter. And then when I go out on a night out, I feel like a different person. So yeah, I think starting with children is definitely the key.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree, and I think you're right. It is kind of demonstrating at that early age, being like, look, all these jobs that are out there that you can do, because I think people worry that if they don't pick the right GCSEs or A levels, or if they do go to university, what's the right course. But I think if you do have those conversations early, people can show, well, this was Lou's career's path or this was Abby's career's path, and we probably did very different things at kind of that GCSE A-level age, but we've ended up in a very similar career. So it does show there are many different avenues, and I think, we both come from a geography background, things like that, where I don't know what I want to do at the age of 18. If you really ask me how I got into transport, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
And I enjoy my job. So it's one of those things, you can come into this industry at any point,
Yeah.
but if you start having those conversations earlier on, it just starts people's minds ticking. And I really like your point on with your careers advisor, because I think I had the same thing where I told my careers advisor, I'd like to do geography. I'm really passionate about the world around me.
Yeah.
Oh, you could be a farmer, I think was that's the outcome, which I just thought, maybe that careers advisor doesn't even know what this world is, because it is quite a niche industry, but it's great. So
Yeah, one of my family members said, "What are you going to do with that degree?" Like, what do you mean? What am I going to do? There's loads of things I could go into with it. I don't know what yet, but I'm going to figure it out. I think it's a really good degree to start with anyway. So I think I'd encourage people to do geography. Yeah,
well, look at it now.
yeah, you too.
So just going on to the last question that we're asking all our guests, what's the one piece of advice that you would give someone to have a successful career?
It's a really good question, Abby.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah, I'm on the spot. I would say do what you enjoy, because otherwise you're not going to enjoy your job every day. And I did geography because I love that. That was my way into this industry. I sort of fell into it. I don't think there's one way in and into the industry, and I think we all need to recognise that. But my biggest piece of advice for someone coming into the industry is be yourself. I think we've all got so much to bring. The industry is amazing. It's so diverse. You can work all over the country, all over the world, even with SYSTRA. Just be open to what the opportunities are out there for you. So I don't really have one specific piece of advice.
No, that's perfect. That's definitely how I've got to where I am. And I think, a lot of people do echo that. I think you do need to enjoy what you do. And I think it is also about people. The people here at SYSTRA make me enjoy what I do. Thanks for joining me today, Lou. That was a really great conversation. I've really learnt a lot. And thanks to everyone for listening. If you'd like to check out more about SYSTRA, please look on our social media channels or check out the website. Thank you very much.